We're going to start with our treasurer's report. Is he here?
He
Dave?
was.
He was.
He's here.
He's
Okay,
here.
all right. So there was a question during the treasurer's report as to when the domain name expires, and it's October 23rd of 2023. So we have
A year and a half.
we've got a year and a half, so that can go on the books. All righty, so we are back. Thank you, everybody. We haven't done this in a while, and I know there's a lot of people, so let's just do it real quick. We'll do a quick intro. We haven't been introducing ourselves. So I'll start off. Wendy, KB3ZDM.
Bill W3A.
You got a new call
RB.
sign.
W3RB.
Ken, KC3 ROF.
Mitch, KC3SBG.
Ken, AC3DH.
Alan, W3ISR.
Dave, KC3BJ.
Dave WA3U.
Sam, NR3S.
Chet, WA3I.
Mike, KB3REU.
All righty, Ken Pierce.
Ken, NU3A.
Who do you see next over there? Oh, Dr. Jeff.
Jeff, or when he says Dr. Jeff, W3DRJ.
Jerry. Is that
Jerry,
Jerry?
KB2GCG.
Frank.
Frank Getz.
Frank Getz.
You're muted, Frank.
He's not talking.
All right.
Let's move on.
All right.
Next.
There's Tom.
Tom.
Tom, KC3FAU.
Yeah.
Okay. Joanne.
Okay.
Who's next to Joanne?
Alan.
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 Alan, K3AAA.
It's Jeff above him, by the way, Jeff.
Oh, yeah, Jeff is above him. Yep, missed him.
K3JRZ.
Okay, Dave, our treasurer.
Dave, K3DX.
Foster.
This is Foster, K3FXS.
And last but not least
Joe.
is Joe. Joe.
Still
Okay.
awake, Joe?
Somebody knows.
KI3, yeah, Joe, intro.
All right.
We're not hearing you. Okay, all right, I don't know what's going on.
Let's move over.
But Joe, I will get you for the AWR announcements. Okay. Old business.
Yeah.
What do we have? Anything?
Sorry, I was fixing the attendance. Just a quick rundown of old business, which is new stuff that came up last month, right? So we had Hamfest. Dave went over what we sold. Guessing everything went well, sounds like.
Yep.
We sent money to Dave Mascaro. We moved the on-air net to bi-monthly. We mentioned about remaining reimbursements from last month. If you had any, please get them to Dave. We discussed the discussion of membership process, which is on hold. Duplicated some notes. Joe Gribb asked about suggestions and ideas for ARL grants. And the new FCC fee went into effect last week.
Okay. Let me call.
And the GMRS fee changed the other day.
It went down from 50 to 35.
Yeah.
35, yeah. Yeah, one of the few things that the FCC did for us. So a couple of those items, the FCC fee, people are paying that were new hams, or they were either updating their call signs and how to pay the fee. So initially things got screwed up. The VECs were told to stop sending in everything. Last Friday, they said, oh, we've got it fixed. Go ahead and start sending us stuff. And then last night, another email came out to the VEC saying, stop sending us stuff. We've gotten payments from people and we don't know, the system's not working again.
So why don't you ask me, don't blame me being I'm the government guy in the room. Okay? I don't make that very clear.
Well, the
But I
sad
can
thing-
tell you that does go on.
Yeah, the sad thing is that I had one person who was in a VE session with me the other day, and he emailed me and said, Wendy, it says that you guys have to do something that it says it's going back to the VEs to confirm, and he screenshotted it and sent it to me. So the FCC's website is blaming it on the people who did the testing as
There you
being at
go.
fault. I saw it with my own eyes, so this is a real snafu. So if you put in for a change to your call sign and you're waiting to get, don't rush to, it's not working. Also, Joe Gribb just messaged me, he said he's got, well, actually he sent it to the whole room. He's having problems with the program, so he's gonna have to catch up with us next month. But if you do have any suggestions for this ARRL Foundation grant, up to $25,000 can be spent per, granted, but we don't need that much. But seriously, do think about something that we would like to have, and email it to me, please, as soon as possible. Don't do it through the reflector. Email it to me, please. I've talked to a couple of people, Alan being one of them, of a couple of suggestions that we could come up with, but I'd really like to get with Joe about this as soon as possible. Take advantage of, maybe we might qualify, who knows?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? It won't hurt to ask. And also, speaking of ARRL, Joe, I know would want everybody, if you are an ARRL member and you've received your ballot, please get it back in. It needs to be received to the league on the 20th. Not postmarked on the 20th, it has to be to them May 20th. Okay, and then they'll start tallying everything up, and we'll find out if it's Joe or John. That will be our next section manager. New business. I'm sorry.
Go, Joe.
Go, Joe. All righty. All righty. Which Joe? Never mind.
No.
All righty. All right. New business. We've got a couple of new business. First thing up would be the QSO party.
Yes, so everyone should be aware, we host and sponsor the Delaware QSO party. It is next weekend, May 7th. Our website has the most updated rules. If you happen to look last week, please go look again. We made a couple changes.
Oh, the FCC.
Yeah. But we didn't blame it on anybody. Let's see, who's not here? Jerry's here, so we'll blame it on Rich. But yeah, seriously, like, we need to get Delaware participation up, so please, please participate. Get your logs into us. I don't know. We need more.
You don't have to work the entire time. If you can get on the air for an hour or two and give some contacts out to non-Delaware stations especially, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if
I have a question.
Hold on 1 second, Ken, if you want to use the club call sign, just email the reflector so no one's overstepping one another. That's a nice extra. Do we still have that in the rules?
Jerry?
Do you remember?
Yes, it is. And I
Yeah.
plan on operating the club call sign when I operate. So I'll pop a note in, and I will be working the FT8 and FT4 modes primarily, but I'll send a note to the reflector.
Thank you. All right,
Sure.
Ken.
Yeah, question. I saw there was an issue about, and I'm sorry, I haven't read the most recent update to the rules, but I understand you're going to take care of converting from whatever the exchange is in those other QSO parties to ours, just a state, I guess. Did you want us to try to make that adjustment in our own files that we send to you?
If you're using the valid county mixture, we can take care of that.
Okay, all right. That's all, thanks.
Is there a preferred log to use?
The website will show you all that information, yes.
Jerry, I have a quick question. So if you're doing like digital
No, it has
modes
to be
using the
free.
club call sign, can somebody use it simultaneously on voice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's good, because I wouldn't be doing the digital.
Yeah.
But maybe if,
As long as you're not sharing the same frequency, we can have somebody on one band, somebody on another band, somebody on digital. That's fine.
okay, all righty, so we'll coordinate that. That'll be good. because I'd like to try at least an hour or something, get my, and I did send down to all the clubs from, Kent County down into Sussex County. So hopefully if they have any questions, they'll reach out to you guys. You were all copied in on it.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Wendy.
Okay.
you.
Alrighty. Yeah, my pleasure, because they were actually talking about it down in Sussex meetings when I was
Yeah.
down there.
Awesome.
So they were interested. Alrighty, the next new business, we're gonna have Alan talk about the field day very briefly, a very quick.
Yeah, this is not a field day presentation.
It's not.
Okay.
That'll be next
It's
month.
just setting the tone for May's meeting. The intent, my intent here, all I want to do is to get people thinking. One thing I will tell you that has the W's, the 5 W's, the where is going to be Lum's Pond this year. I know that seems to be a point of contention, but we're gonna do it this year. Next year, we'll do it back at Brandywine up at Springer. I mean, we're just gonna give it a shot. We already reserved the whole campsite that weekend. I want people to understand that we have the campsite. So if you want to bring your kids, you want to put a tent up, you want to use the campsite, it has that opportunity. You can use it for recreational while we're doing it.
Is it the Europe or the? just-
No,
it's a-
no, this is the primitive side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the where, okay? The what, again, that's a big discussion point that we have, is what are we gonna do? Are we gonna be a 1A or 2A, I want people thinking about it. I think we're gonna focus on a two seat configuration. I think we've had a lot of success there, and in doing so, it comes down to antennas. So what antennas are we going to use? Again, this is gonna be a big question point for next month's meeting. And then, let's see, the other big thing is, we don't have to worry about porta potty, by the way. That's the good news, there's a porta potty there.
There's already a porta potty there.
We don't have to
Right.
worry about that, so that's one worry, one W I gotta not worry about. And then, the last thing is the who, and that comes down to the volunteers, not just, sitting in seats, but doing some of the picking up things like the food and such. So I'll prepare a presentation that kind of lays that out. What I like folks to think about between now and then is if there's any ideas that you have, you want to bring, like an antenna or something, let's start that thought now and have that dialogue in next month's meeting. Because, like I said, I think for the most part, I think Springer was awesome, right? I just want to mix it up for once, just to let's throw a wrench into this thing and see what we can do. I know I'm gonna draw a map. Where's Mike? I'm gonna draw a map, and actually, I'm gonna draw a map right now because it could be 5 minutes.
Yeah, you guys can't really see this.
You can't see it.
Actually.
Yeah, we won't be able to see it.
You won't be able to see it.
Yes, yeah, wait a minute, hold on a second. He can move the camera. There he goes.
Won't be able to see it anyway.
Okay, so
Earthquake.
so here's Newcastle County. There's the canal, right? Newcastle County goes down to here, and there's this thing called 95. Well, we got the north versus the south. And 95 is the boundary line.
There you go.
So this year we're going to accommodate the south. We have a lot of new users down in the Bay Area there, So we're gonna do it down here at Lum's Pond. Next year we'll do it up at the north. That's the way I like to see us do it, is to switch it a little bit. Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Is there a generator restriction in the campsite or? you can be allowed to
It
use
is only when there are other campers, so that's the beautiful thing that we have
Yeah,
our
see,
own.
yeah, we have the whole primitive campground. So I've been there with Civil Air Patrol. We had our mobile command post and had the generator running the whole time. It was us. We had the whole campsite. So, anybody who wants to bring generators, as long as they're not too ridiculously noisy for everybody not to be able to hear, whatever.
But I throw that out there just real quick. Obviously, Frank has been the big contributor in that area there, and we may have to reach out to Frank and such, but think about the grant.
I'll
Maybe.
talk to Frank tomorrow. I'm seeing Frank tomorrow.
Would you do
I'll-
that?
I'll reach out.
Just
to him.
poke him for us.
I'm getting.
Awesome.
Yeah, so what did Frank do?
He has,
Provide
he has.
the generator.
He has
He
a
has
big
the generator.
generator. the nice
Quiet generator.
Quiet.
Oh, yeah, 'cause I
That
was
would
gonna say,
be,
I've got a 3500 that runs on both the LP and gasoline, but it is a little
Wow.
bit noisy now.
so that could be a consideration of the grant money. Maybe we can get a generator, emergency backup generator for the club.
Yeah, we've got to look at some of the rules. of
Probably not
as-
time for this. field.
No, no.
Yeah.
But
No, not the way the government works. So.
Hey, Wendy, I have a question.
sure, go ahead.
Where
Ken.
exactly are these sites? Because I'm going to be down there for a week, starting the 15th, our shakedown of our camper for the summer. So. we're
Okay,
going
so
down
this
for a
is
week.
not where the camper, like where, if you knew where the yurt was and where everybody can park in with campers and stuff, it's not that area at all. It's the other side of the park, on the other side of the pond itself,
Okay.
and in the
No, it's on the
primitive.
Same side of the pond, but more east.
Yeah, more east, yeah.
Sounds like a good hike for while I'm down there then. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
actually, it's
yeah.
nice. They got trails back there, so.
Yep.
If you go down Route 71 towards House School Lane or whatever the road that the park entrance is on.
Yeah,
If you go past the,
we can get you maps, okay?
yeah, if you look at, you get past the Ocean Deli that's there at the corner.
Yeah.
Ocean Deli / post office. And probably about a quarter of a mile, there is a sign that says Primitive Camping Ground. It's hard to see, but there's a yellow metal gate.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
I'll provide, don't worry, that'll all be provided.
Yeah, yeah,
as
we're not
part
gonna
of the
talk.
Presentation.
Yeah, we're not
Are
gonna
you
talk
saying
about that
primitive?
now.
Yes.
Are you saying primitive camp? Okay, I got it.
Primitive.
Yeah, the primitive campground.
So, but again, I just want to close on the thought. We paid for all 3 campsites, so we have more that weekend for us to do what we want to do as part of the club, okay? And again, I clearly would extend the thought about if you have kids or you want to set up a tent and you want to use that, please do. I mean, that's part of the fun of this, okay? So I'll leave it at that.
Very good. All righty.
Can you post the site that you have? So if we want to come down, we can get
We will
something
be
close.
discussing field day in full detail next month's meeting. This was just an intro to let everybody know that we're moving the location this year.
Okay, but
Okay, that's all.
those campsites go quick.
Foster, this is the end of the discussion. We're not talking anymore about field day. Thanks. We'll cover this next month. Okay.
Darn.
We're getting up to 9 o'clock and I want to wrap this up. The last new business meeting, for those of you who came early, you heard this already, but there's several people who have joined in since then. So everybody's been asking, what time does our meeting start? And the meeting officially will begin at 7:30 p.m. For those people who come in person, you can access the church by 7 o'clock. Chet's already here. I try to be here soon after him, as close to 7 p.m. Zoom will be turned on at least by 7 p.m. And the original 7:24, as it was explained to me, used to be because at another location, you couldn't gain access to the room until 7:30. So everybody was gathering in some kind of a little a kitchenette type thing, and they would have donuts. And around 7:24, everybody was munching on some donuts and coffee or whatever else they had. So that's where the goofy 7:24 came from. So we will still try to maintain the donut thing and have some socialization up until that, 7:24-ish. And at that point, then what we'll do is start winding things down and begin our meeting at 7:30. At 7:30, I don't know what's going on there. What happened?
I did that. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we still connected? Okay, wow. Yeah, I was gonna say, leave that
I
mouse
was
alone.
just pushing buttons here without.
Don't push buttons, Chet.
So what we will also do is business meeting will begin at 7:30. Any special guests or any special announcements, like next month is the presentation for field day. We'll move into field day at exactly 8 p.m. Alan will do what he needs to do. If there was unfinished business, we will pick that back up. We will not officially close a meeting if we didn't have everything resolved by that time. So that way we can get back into the business, and then we'll close the business meeting at that point. And so we're just trying to keep everything mainstreamed. I respect everyone's time, especially those people who had to drive here. You know, I don't live local to here, neither does Sam, you know, and some people, you know, like if Tom was up from Middletown, it would have been a hike for him. So, you know, and even if you're home, you know, it's still 9 o'clock somewhere, right? So I appreciate everyone's time. And that's all I have to say for new business, unless somebody else has something else.
Jane's looking for volunteers for 13 Colonies.
Yep, I did set, okay, so let's review back some of the emails I've sent out recently. So one of the emails that I sent out the other day was on the 13 Colonies, which is in July. He's looking for people. Please look at the reflector. If you didn't get the email for some reason, let me know and I'll re-forward it to you directly. We have net controls. People are signing up for additional time frames, and I appreciate that. But there were only 8 people yesterday, and I think there were 9 the week before. So I need for you guys to check in. Come on, this is your club. You know, so please, just even if you can't stay, you don't have a whole lot to say, just say, hey, you know, we like hearing you, you know. What other things did I send
I
out?
would like, I got a question.
Skywarn.
Yeah,
Oh, Skywarn, next Thursday, there is, and I sent that link out too. Thanks, guys. Steve Sorenko sent out about the Skywarn class. If you haven't had Skywarn in at least 3 years, please take it, because after 6 years, they drop you. And I know what that's like. I had to get a whole new Skywarn number a few years ago. So it's like 2 hours from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and it's all online. If you need the link again, I can forward
Is there a
that to you.
test?
No,
No, there's no test.
Okay.
Just be there.
Just devote the 2 hours.
it's a test of patience.
Just about the 2 hours, you know, to log in.
It's a test of patience.
What else did
You
I
can
send
sign
out?
up for viewing the recording. I checked because I can't make it this year. But if you can't make the actual live, you can sign up to view the recording.
View the recording, right? Yeah, and that's all on their website.
Mhm.
If you need the website link again and stuff, and you didn't get
I'll
it
put
for
it in the
whatever,
minutes.
yeah, we'll do that. And also, Mike is going to try to get our minutes up in a quicker fashion than what it's been.
Sorry.
Any questions so far?
I do have one thing.
Yeah.
I'm projecting to Dave Drew. Dave, you out there? You still listening?
Say again?
Okay, he's out there. Good. Dave, any chance that you could try to get to one of the meetings physically, and so that a lot of us here who want to pay our dues can
Well,
actually meet up with the broker?
I was hoping to be there tonight, but it turned out to be that we ended up having dinner at someone's home and I couldn't get to the meeting on time. So
Okay, no worries. I just want to.
probably next meeting.
Okay, so keep that in mind, everybody who are members who are wanting to pay the dues. The
There are no
broker will
dues
be
due this
here.
year.
He'll wear that hat, you know, like the gambler hat, you know, and you know, he'll be collecting money. 50, and we haven't had 50/50 in how long? Have we? Tell you that's something we haven't done in a while. We used to collect
Yeah.
money on our.
I have the tickets. I wasn't
I mean, it's
home.
just a small group here.
I wasn't home tonight, so I
Okay,
wasn't
but
planning.
anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. This, you
Yeah.
know, I could have gave it to him on Saturday, but I didn't even think at the moment, that moment in time.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't thinking
I
either.
can bring it to him Saturday if you want.
I don't have it on me now. That's the problem.
What's Saturday?
Well, then why did you bring it up?
The next meeting.
I have a question for everybody's at home. So for those of you who are at home, how many of you think that you would be able to start making an in-person meeting?
Raise your hand.
Yeah, if you could like do the raise the hand on the thing. Well, because some of you have your
got one.
cameras off. I see like 2 people. The reason I'm asking this, okay, is I'm not trying to put anybody on spot. I'm seeing like 3 people or whatever. It's been requested that, and I'm one who would benefit from this too, is to get some back to basics type of presentations. So on June's meeting, that is the meeting right before we would have field day. So there will be a little bit of catch up, clean up confirmation stuff, Alan will not need that whole meeting. And what I would like to do is maybe take about 30 minutes in that meeting. So any of you who are at home who might want to consider coming up, for some people who might be new, maybe they were thinking about going to field day, but they were kind of afraid, they didn't know what to do. Maybe we can, you know, get together and just talk about some basic stuff. Maybe somebody has got a really cool presentation that would be field day appropriate, you know, as to how to do stuff that we do at field day, not just, you know, not just setting up antennas and that stuff. That has to be done hands-on, but just think about some things that you might want to share that are good for back to basics. And those of you who have been hams for a long time, moving forward, we do have November and December still open for presentations. So I'd like for you to share some of your knowledge.
I can volunteer one of those 2 months on the project I'm working on. I should have it completed by then.
Okay, all right. Well, and we'll talk. I mean, so please get with Chet and I and discuss, you know, what you'd like to be able to share. But sometimes it might be nice to have something in person. And I'll give you an example. When I went down to Danacook's meeting 2 months ago, they actually had everybody bring their laptops. And they installed WinLink on everybody's laptops that wanted it. And then, excuse me, please.
Oh, sorry.
I number one, I couldn't hear it, and number two, I'm still talking. Okay, so and so what they did was they had Wi-Fi in the building, and then they did a telnet message for everybody. So it would require for everybody to sign up for WinLink prior to actually coming, you know, having a WinLink account, but it got people into knowing how to do something like that. So, and then they also had some people bring their handy talkies, and people had a Chirp on their laptops, or like in my case, I have both Chirp and I have the RTS systems for the Yaesu 400, and they helped, you know, plug people's radios in and program them because somebody already had a bank of, you know, very helpful. So if these are the kind of things that I like to help people out with. So think about it, see how you could maybe participate and help out too, because maybe you have other programs for other types of radios to program that I wouldn't have, that might not be Chirp compatible or RTS Yaesu 400. Okay, any questions? Any comments? Crickets?
I like it.
Okay, we were talking about Chirp and now I'm getting crickets. Okay, with that, anybody want to make a motion to close the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
We have nothing for ARL.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say the only thing I said for ARRL was get the ballots back.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah, so, and with the, right before I officially close this, yeah, with the postal service being as slow as it is, you need to get it mailed by the 13th for them to have it for the 20th. Don't put it off. All righty, we had motion and seconded and thirded, and this is closed. Thank you.
In the meeting.
I like the ones.
Hi all.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
No.
Nice.
That was a person.